Nothing can be said or done more than the cultural impact British people have left on this earth. That's why today I'm trying to piss off as many people as I possibly can. Starting off by cleaning your desk and, well, forgetting why you're actually here. Getting your nice thick cut of salmon here. This one is approximately 500 milligrams, so if you want to use this, or you can even use like just salmon fillets if you want, but if you really want thick juicy burgers, then I advise getting a bigger cut of salmon personally. Get the scales and start cutting. Try find an edge, find like a perfect spot. There doesn't have to be a specific spot, but if using your knife, slowly upwards, and then once you get like an opening, you want to put your thumb just like this and then just yank it off, just yank away. If there's still remaining bits on the scale, just use your knife and take off the bits of salmon. You don't want to be wasting that precious salmon. Now don't worry if your salmon looks like it's been run over by an SUV several times. We'll be cutting all of this up eventually and make it into burgers, so it won't matter. Because salmon is a really oily and fatty fish, it's gonna get a bit messy, so I advise you put on some gloves and start hacking away. Now, you don't really have to use a knife to do this. You can actually use a blender if you want, but if you want to get the same consistency and you don't want something too mushy, then it's probably advised that you use a knife. So I'm using this knife to cut individually into like fillet slices, and then once I've filleted them, I'm going to cut them and dice them the other way. Into separate chunks, you're going to have one diced area that's a little bit thicker on the thicker side, and the other one where you're just going to turn into complete kind of mush. The thicker side will retain its juiciness, while the thinner side will crisp out more when we're cooking it inside of the pan and making it into a burger. This is perfect. You want it just like this. Now bear with me a second while I wash my hands. Now into a bowl, we're going to set this aside. We're going to get out our chopping board and we're going to chop a few things. The best herb you can usually pair with salmon is dill. So we're going to roughly chop up some dill and put it into our salmon. Now you're going to take one garlic clove and crush it with a knife. We're going to slice it into little pieces and then put into the salmon. Take off the peel of a spring onion and then slice it into fine pieces. Some ginger. This will enhance our flavors and make it a bit sweet with the salmon. Put this all into your lovely salmon mix bowl, and then we're going to take some miso paste. A nice fair amount of black sesame seeds, or just regular sesame seeds. Just depends on whatever you have. I just have black sesame seeds. You then want to use your hands and mix this all in. Oh, and how could I forget? Put in some panko crumbs. This will help retain the structure of the salmon burger and also give it added texture. You want to keep mixing all your flavors and all your ingredients into your salmon. Once you can, start forming your salmon into burger shaped like patties. Now, I'm making two big patties here, and the reason why is so it fits the burger bun that I'm placing it on. These won't shrink like ordinary beef burgers. When they're in the pan, they will retain their shape. Now, moving away from the salmon burgers, we will make a nice creamy coleslaw. We're going to start off by using our romaine lettuce, some thinly sliced carrots. I'm using a potato peeler here. Cutting your onion in half and staying away from the root, because that'll make you cry. Because if you didn't know, cutting into the root of an onion will let off the fumes, and those fumes will often make you cry. More dill, but if you want to use something else like chives, you definitely can. Put it all into your pot, and then once you've done that, you just want to get some broccoli, and you want to take off the florets from the top of it. Now for your condiments, put 3 tablespoons of mayo inside of your mix. Three tablespoons of double cream. I'm using Elmer cream. You can use any type of double cream. A tiny insy wincy bit of honey and some capers. These will add sweet and saltiness to your coleslaw. Mix it all in together, and once you're done, you should have something that looks like this. I'm making sweet potato fries with this salmon burger. So what you want to do, get your sweet potato and you want to peel it just like this. And then once you've peeled it, cut it into chip-like potato fries. What you want to do now is you want to rinse these bad boys out. You want to let them get rid of the starch inside of the potato, because you don't want those. When the potatoes sit like this in clear water, that's how you know all the starch is gone. Get your potatoes and put them on the heat. I'm using a kettle here, so the water becomes hotter faster. Get your rice wine vinegar or any white vinegar and put it inside of the pot. This is to prevent the potato from breaking up, because we want to keep these potatoes fry shaped. Preheat your oven to 200 Celsius or 400 Fahrenheit. You want to set this for 45 to 60 minutes. The reason why we're doing this is so when we put the potatoes in the oven, they crisp up a lot faster. You don't want to have solid potato fries that are already hard. It's going to take ages to do. I forgot to show this part, but after I did this, I let the sweet potato fries dry out, and then I soaked them with olive oil and some cornstarch. Taking it full circle back to our salmon burgers, we're going to put some butter, or if you want, some olive oil inside of our pan. Make sure you set your pan on a low heat. You do not want the salmon to be sticking to the pan while you're cooking. Gently place your salmon burger onto the pan. Once cooked on one side for 3 to 4 minutes, you want to turn it over and flip it gently. This is perfect. This is exactly what you want. They smell amazing too. I can move the salmon burger really easily around the pan. This is because we're on a low heat, but if we were on a high heat, it would be sticking to the pan and everything would be a mess right now. The result should look like this. Nice and golden, but also nice and brown on the crust on the outside of the burger. Our salmon burger is done, and our sweet potato fries are done. And with this, it is time for the assembly. Starting with a singular slice of romaine lettuce, some of our sweet creamy coleslaw, some thinly sliced cucumbers, making sure they don't roll off the counter, some thin sliced red onions for decoration, and then for a nice thick patty. If you're feeling a bit extra, also some sliced avocados on top. Top it off with some more of that creamy coleslaw that we have. And voila, that is your salmon burger complete. Or if you want to call, how the fuck am I fitting that in my mouth? I wasn't fitting this one in my mouth, so I gave it to my granddad instead. He enjoyed it. I made my own salmon burger to see how this tasted. And as you can see, I found it hard even getting it in my hands, let alone wanting to take a bite out of it.
Everything is good, high and green.
That's one nice juicy burger. You can tell when the burger's really good when it just starts all falling apart in front of you. Well, in all seriousness, it is a great burger. The creamy coleslaw and the avocado and the lettuce, the onions, everything really mixes in well together. I mean, just look at my reaction. It's like I just wanted to go to a Confederate neighborhood and start screaming about how Germany created the hamburgers and America